Researchers at the University of Toronto and Insilico Medicine have developed a potential treatment for liver cancer using AI. They used a protein structure database called AlphaFold to uncover and develop a hit molecule that could target cancer without any aid. Just like you should target that follow button like right now. The creation of the potential drug was accomplished in just 30 days from the selection of the target and after synthesizing just 7 compounds. And this is just a great example of what AI can already do today. I mean, machine learning is basically just crazy great pattern recognition, so if you just feed it the right data, it will find the right patterns. So in summary, this treatment was developed using AI in a much faster and efficient way than traditional methods of drug discovery. So while general AI is still quite far away, AI like this is already happening today, and I'm going to be talking about a sort of a taboo topic, the fact that AI like this can actually replace a lot of doctors in the future, and just hear me out. So when I say doctors, I mean more of the general practitioner doctors that maybe work at a clinic. So when you come in with a sore throat, with a fever, stuff like that. Because if you think about it, that is already happening with something like Google, right? Like back in the day, if you had a fever and a sore throat, you didn't know what the heck was going on. So you just had to go to the doctor because maybe you had a cold, but maybe it was pneumonia and you were gonna die. But these days you just have Google and you can just Google the symptoms and sort of match them up and with a fairly high probability get sort of the answer to what your illness might be. And that's basically what doctors do anyway. They just have a lot of experience with these various symptoms, so they just find a disease that fits within the symptoms. And the thing is that AI is just way better at pattern recognition than humans are, because it's AI. You can even sort of think of it as like an autistic person. So for instance, finding connections between two things. You might have an autistic person that finds a completely obscure connection that a normal person that doesn't have autism would just never have thought of. And AI is sort of in the same way. AI is basically just all mathematical equations. So it's just a much more broad spectrum way of thinking and finding connections and similarities between different things. And well, basic AI for medical use has been happening for a very long time. So for instance, a very basic thing that has been happening for like a few decades now at this point, I think, is just the normal decision tree AI, where basically you just give it your symptoms and then it just goes up and down with if statements and determines what your illness might be. So for instance, does this person have a fever? Yes, no. Yes, they do. Do they have a sore throat as well? Yes, no. And then, and then it just goes down the tree and it just lands on a disease in the end. So in the future, you might just come to a clinic just so they take your symptoms, maybe they take your blood, maybe we even get home kits for blood testing at some point in the future, and then AI can just compare your symptoms to symptoms of a few thousand, a few million, a few billion people. And it can, with a very high probability, just analyze what is wrong with you pretty much the same way that a doctor does. So very cool stuff, and let me know what you think down in the comments.